Hey, YouTubers, something important, something kind of damn important. So, I'm in the garage again at my parents' house. I'm smoking a big ass cigar, as in the big ass cigar for life. Look at that big ass cigar. Anyway, the house of keeping on Thanksgiving, big ass Thanksgiving, like the big ass cigar. Smoking this Romeo Julieta cigar, nice big ass cigar, as in the big ass cigar for life. Look at that big ass cigar. Just got on camera to shoot the shit right now. Shoot the shit and talk about things. So, anyway, I just had dinner about an hour ago. Yep, Thanksgiving Day dinner. Yet another Thanksgiving dinner is done with. Can't believe it. Holy shit. So, holy crap, another Thanksgiving dinner is done with. Well, not really, because my family and I got catering. We got catering from Roche Brothers. So we have a lot of leftovers. I mean, a hell of a lot of leftovers. So we have a ton of leftovers. We have lots and lots of turkey left over. And I know people are going to say, ew, you're eating leftovers. Ew, it's not fully cooked. Ew. Whatever, screw you. You're an idiot. It's like, But the thing is, we have lots of leftovers. We have lots of turkey left over, lots of the bird left over, not turd, bird. We also have lots of mashed potatoes left over. We have lots of butternut squash left over. We have lots of gravy left over, lots of stuffing left over. Keep saying leftover. Big ass cigar for life, just being silly ass like a big ass cigar. We have dinner rolls. We have cranberry sauce. I mean, it's unfreaking believable how much food we have in the house. So this weekend we're not going to get takeout because honestly we have more food than we know what to do with. So we have a lot of crap in the house. Yeah, the dinner was delicious. The catering from Roche Brothers was absolutely delicious. Let's see. Yeah, I had, because I can't have the stuffing, unfortunately. My mom was like, hey, you could have a little bit because it's the holiday season. You could treat yourself. I'm like, I really don't want to break the gluten-free diet because I've been so good about the gluten-free diet. Even though it would be an occasional thing where you cheat on the gluten-free diet. I really don't want to cheat on the gluten-free diet because I've been so good about it. It would kind of like open up the floodgates where it's like, okay, I do this once, then twice, then 3 times, and 4 times. Then it becomes I'm back to not doing the diet. So, yeah, so I had the taters, the mashed potatoes, nice big ass taters like the big ass cigar. Also had the cranberry sauce, which I'm not really that fond of. I don't actually really like cranberries that much. I mean, I'll have cranberry juice. Well, not actually, I'm not a big fan of cranberry juice in general. I don't drink juice for the most part because juice is very high in sugar. So, I mean, I'll have like a mixed cranberry juice on a very rare occasion, but I actually really don't like cranberries, and the reason I don't like them is because they're too tart. They're too tart. Yeah, they're too tart and too sour. I'm not a big fan of it. It's funny because my grandmother, my mother's mother, was crazy about cranberry juice when she was alive. Obviously, she died a long, long time ago. She died, years ago. But she was crazy about cranberry juice. But I don't really like cranberries that much, honestly. It's one of the very, very few foods I don't actually like. So I had a little bit of cranberry sauce. I was like, okay, I'll have it because it's a holiday season. I almost never the only time I have cranberry sauce or cranberry, whatever you want to call it, is the Thanksgiving time. Because aside from that, I don't buy cranberries on a regular basis. Even though cranberries themselves are actually fairly good for you. So the taters were good. Roche Brothers makes excellent taters. They, mashed potatoes with a little bit of butter and a little bit of salt and pepper, not pecker. Salt and pepper, not pecker. Yeah, pepper, not pecker. Being silly ass like the big ass cigar. So, yeah, being silly ass like the big ass cigar. Oh, a moth came in. Yeah, pretty late in the season to see a moth come in. So you saw a moth coming out from outside. Anyway, probably attracted to the light back there. So there's kind of like an overhead light in the back of the garage. Okay. So the mashed potatoes were delicious. They were absolutely, absolutely delicious, the mashed potatoes. And the butternut squash was absolutely delicious also. The turkey, the actual turkey itself was delicious also. It wasn't too dry, and it wasn't too wet tasting. Yeah, being silly ass like the big ass cigar. Yeah, think about that 5 times fast. Being silly ass like the big ass cigar. Yeah, wet vagina. Being silly ass like the big ass cigar. So anyway, yeah, I'm so 13. So anyway, so oh sorry, just had to crack my knuckles. So yeah, ore burner went off. The turkey was very good, not too dry, like I said, and it was about a 12-pound turkey, 12-pound turkey, and the nice thing about it is it came pre-cooked, which is always a blessing because when you buy a frozen turkey, like a frozen or refrigerated turkey. Well, frozen fucking turkey. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, it's like you have to wake up at 6:30, 7 o'clock that day. You have to clean it, wash it. You have to defrost it. It's a pain in the ass. It's a royal pain in the ass. So having a pre-cooked turkey, and I know people are going to be total idiots and say, ew, you ate pre-cooked turkey, ew, ew, whatever, screw you, F you, whatever. So, I mean, being silly ass like the big ass cigar. So, I mean, you can say whatever. It's like, I thought it was delicious. So, anyway, so I didn't mean to raise my middle finger, but I mean, I hate people who are critics and just say just because a food is pre-made or just because a food is reheated makes it automatically gross. And there are some people like that who. There are some people like that who, for example, if you make something one day and then you reheat it the next day. There are some people who will say it's disgusting because you're eating food that was made a day ago or 2 days ago. I don't get that. I don't really get that shit because honestly, it's like, what's disgusting about that? It's food. So, of course, I'm not a picky eater myself. You have to consider, I mean, look at me. I'm not a picky eater. I'm 220 pounds. It's almost 220 pounds. I'm not a picky eater. It's like, I'll eat pretty much anything you put in front of me. I mean, with the exception of like the cranberry sauce, which I'm not really that fond of. There's very, very, very few foods that I'm not fond of. So there's a handful of stuff I'm not fond of. But aside from a handful of stuff, I'll eat pretty much anything you put in front of me. I knew somebody a while back, not going to say who it is, I'm not going to dox them, whatever, but they were such a picky eater. They were like such a picky eater. it's like they're like, oh, hamburger's too greasy, or hot dog's not big enough, or soup is too thick, or for example, salad has too much dressing. I mean, how the hell can you be like that? It's like I mean, how the hell can you be like that? It's like because or like French fries are too greasy. It's like yeah, how the hell can you be like that? Because honestly, it's like I'll eat pretty much anything you put in front of me, and that's why I'm moderately overweight, because I'm not picky and I will pretty much eat anything that you'll put in front of me. So I'm not picky. I know a few people who are picky eaters, like that person I was mentioning. I'm not going to say the person's name, obviously, but I know a few people who are picky eaters. But I mean, I thought that the dinner was delicious. And again, going back to the fact it was a pre-cooked turkey, really, really made it easy, because all we had to do, my parents had to do, was essentially take it out of the refrigerator and put it in the oven, preheat the oven, and put in for about an hour and a half, about 90 minutes, and that's all it really took. And I mean, that makes it a lot easier, because honestly, like I said before, cooking an actual frozen turkey is such a pain in the butt. I mean, it's like you have to wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock. If you enjoy doing it, I'm not trying to criticize people. I mean, if you enjoy doing that yourself, I mean, you enjoy the tradition. You enjoy the tradition of picking out, picking out a old-fashioned frozen turkey from the meat department at the grocery store. You enjoy cleaning it, you enjoy washing it, you enjoy, letting it defrost. I'm not trying to deter you from that. I'm just saying it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work in general, and having a turkey that's already pre-cooked, and all you have to do is warm it up, is a lot easier. It's a hell of a lot easier. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a lot easier. So anyway. So, excuse me, I had to burp. Food coming up. So, yeah, so the dinner was delicious. My dad, obviously, who's actually not, I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but my dad is not, none of my other family is gluten intolerant or celiac. So I know sometimes celiac disease will run in families, but as far as we know, nobody in my family has it. So my dad and my mother are not celiac or gluten intolerant or gluten sensitive, whatever you want to call it. So, my dad had the dinner rolls, he had the stuffing, and I really wish I could have had the stuffing. I mean, maybe next year I'll look into getting a good gluten-free stuffing brand. But it's like I had gluten-free stuffing once, and to be fair, I'm not going to say where I got it, because that's kind of like doxing, whatever, but all I will say is there's a very cheap brand, very, very cheap brand of gluten-free stuffing. And I got it from maybe not the best place in the world, kind of like a cheap store, and like kind of like one of those like discount stores. It was actually, yeah, so it tasted really terrible. I mean, honestly, I had my mother made it. It wasn't my mother's fault, but it tasted really shitty, honestly. The gluten-free stuffing, it was really nasty. I mean, it wasn't nasty, but it was not something I was very fond of. We ended up throwing the entire thing out. That was, I think, 3 years ago. So since then, I haven't been willing to try gluten-free, gluten-free stuffing. But I know Roach Brothers sells gluten-free stuffing, and I will tell you this: when I did try the gluten-free stuffing, I didn't buy it at Roach Brothers. I bought it somewhere, or I got it somewhere else. So yeah, I haven't tried gluten-free stuffing. I've only tried it once. Excuse me, burped. The thing is, some foods with a gluten-free diet, they're able to mimic pretty well on, foods that are gluten-free, like the bread. I'll tell you this, gluten-free bread used to taste like shit. It used to taste like horse shit. I mean, gluten-free bread used to taste disgusting. I remember when I first tried gluten-free bread back in 2012. back in 2012 when I first tried the gluten-free diet. Oh my God, it was like cardboard. It was like fucking cardboard. It's like, like garbage. And they've actually gotten, over the last 10 years, they've gotten a lot better with the gluten-free bread. The gluten-free bread they have nowadays, since about 2015, 2016, 2017, tastes a lot better. It tastes a lot more like actual bread, because I'll tell you this, the gluten-free bread that I tried back in 2012 was absolutely disgusting. It was bleh. It was, you had to microwave it for like 2 or 3 minutes. It came frozen. It tasted like cardboard. I remember somebody telling me, oh, the bread is terrible. So, but the bread nowadays tastes just like regular bread. They have made a lot of improvements over the past 5 to 10 years with gluten-free products. Now, the nice thing is, a lot of the stuff that comes with the Roche Brothers, turkey dinner is naturally gluten-free. It may not be labeled gluten-free, but it's naturally gluten-free. The turkey is naturally gluten-free because it's just meat. So, the mashed potatoes, again, naturally gluten-free. They do contain milk, so some people who are celiac, who are sensitive to lactose, they might try to avoid that because obviously some people who are celiac also follow a lactose-free diet. But yeah, the mashed potatoes are naturally gluten-free. The cranberry sauce is naturally gluten-free. The butternut squash is a vegetable, so it's naturally gluten-free. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, and obviously the salt and the pepper are obviously freaking gluten-free. It's like, it's just salt and pepper. It's like, not pecker, being silly ass like a big ass cigar. So, but yeah. The gravy is not gluten-free, so I had to pass up on the gravy. I've only had gluten-free gravy once. It's kind of funny. I've had gluten-free stuffing once. I've had gluten-free gravy once. My dad's sister, when I was down visiting her down the Cape, many, many years ago, actually about 4 or 5 years ago, she made me gluten-free gravy. She made me gluten-free gravy by using gluten-free flour, and it tasted actually pretty good. It gave me a little bit of diarrhea, too much information, but gave me a little bit of diarrhea, but it was actually pretty good. But the regular gravy you get like the stores is definitely not gluten-free because one of the natural ingredients is wheat as a thickener. So they naturally add wheat as a thickener. So, the wheat thickens the gravy, just like a lot of soups, for example. A lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of soups, for example, have wheat. Like a lot of your major brand soups, clam chowder, a lot of broccoli cheddar soup, lobster bisque, corn chowder, pretty much any kind of chowder, haddock chowder, fish chowder, seafood chowder, have wheat as a base because it's used as a thickener, so it really thickens the soup. That's the whole freaking point. So yeah, gravy naturally has wheat because it helps thicken things. Now, the stuffing obviously has wheat because it's a it's a breaded product. So it's a breaded product, so it naturally has wheat. But yeah, oh, by the way, look at that ash. Dead ash on that big ass cigar. Dead ash. Dead ash on that big ass cigar. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it sucks I can't have the gravy. It sucks I can't have the stuffing. I'm actually more disappointed about the stuffing than the gravy. I actually, before I went gluten-free back in 2017, I was never a huge gravy person. I mean, I would have gravy on like Thanksgiving. But I was really into the stuffing. I really miss stuffing, and I really want to look into it next year in 2023 because stuffing really tastes good. I mean, getting a good gluten-free stuffing brand because I really miss having stuffing. Now, the one disadvantage to stuffing is, and I do remember this before I went gluten-free, is it does kind of do a number on your stomach. So all that food, Thanksgiving Day food, the mashed potatoes, the turkey. Oh, car going by. They all kind of bulk you up because the potatoes are a carbohydrate, the stuffing is a carbohydrate, the squash, not really a carbohydrate, but it does kind of bulk you up. So it does make you a little bit on the gassy side. And a lot of people say they feel a little bit tired after eating turkey. So it has a certain ingredient that makes you a little bit tired. I forget what that ingredient is called. It's not like a drug or anything. It's not like they're adding like a recreational drug to it. It's not like they're adding like a sedative or anything like that. But it's a certain type of ingredient that makes you feel naturally tired. So, like I'll probably sleep very well tonight. So, well, fingers crossed, yeah, because I have trouble sleeping in general. So, yeah, turkey just generally makes you feel tired. But but yeah, let me just tap off the ash. Ooh, nice little cherry going. Nice little cherry. So, yeah, so all that Thanksgiving food does kind of like do a little bit of a number on your stomach. So you want to, the day of Thanksgiving, even if you don't have a colostomy like me, you want to be, near a bathroom because it kind of does a number in your stomach. So my dad, I mentioned how he has COVID. My dad has COVID right now. And yes, he's vaccinated, so that's good. But he's taking a certain medication, and it's kind of doing a number on his stomach, right now. So he's in the bathroom pretty frequently, and probably with the combination of the medication and also the food, he's going to be in the bathroom for, a lot of this weekend. So, yeah, use lots of air freshener. So, yeah, big ass poops for life. Yeah, big ass turds for life, craps for life, shits for life, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. So I can't believe Thanksgiving is almost over with. I mean, Thanksgiving is well more than halfway over with. I mean, midnight tonight will be the end of Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving won't happen again until next year, 2023. So. And I had a very good day. I mean, I had a very good day overall. I had a very quiet day. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to burp. Big ass pig, like the big ass cigar. But I had a very good day, a very quiet day. I took a walk with my mother. We walked around the neighborhood, and yeah. So, yeah, Thanksgiving is coming to a close, and tomorrow's Black Friday. I don't do any of the Black Friday, traditions like, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and doing like the holiday shopping. No way in hell. It's like, no way in hell, because I've never been into that. My parents have never been into that. We have a family friend who used to be kind of into that crap, but we're just not into that stuff. It's like, waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and doing the Black Friday shopping, the holiday shopping, getting our Christmas shopping done. We do our Christmas shopping at a different time. Anyway, that's going to be about it. So I rambled on for 23 minutes. Have a nice day, YouTubers. Pretty fucking cool. Bye.